People, welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. There are a lot of promises already rolling out from the Labour Party, courtesy of Peter Obi and his vice presidential candidate, Yusuf Dati Baba Atmek. And it's quite interesting to hear a lot of those promises coming in now just to beef up the interest of the youths in ensuring that Peter Obi get a clean slate victory into Aso Rock come February 23rd, 2023. And also in another development, a huge promise is coming in from a clergyman about Peter Obi, and it's getting really interesting. Don't forget that right now there's a lot of castigation against the duo of APC, talking about Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is a Muslim, and also Kazim Shetima. So a lot of people seem to be wielding so much support for Peter Obi at this time. We're going to be looking at that and also the reactions of Nigerians in that respect. Still talking about the issue of promises, Yusuf Dati Ahmed, the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, posted a recent tweet on his official Twitter page concerning the Nigerian youths. And it goes this way. He stated that help is on the way for millions of Nigerian youths that are jobless and are victims of hardship and insecurity. He further stated that with Peter Obi, everything is possible. I'm going to read exactly what he said according to how he posted it. He said, to millions of Nigerian youth that are jobless and that are victims of hardship and insecurity, I tell you that help is on its way. Wow. We are obedient and we will usefully get it right this time. With PO, it's possible. This is quite interesting, I tell you. And immediately he did that, a lot of reaction just keep coming in. But then let's also look at another promise coming from a man of God. And according to the news, Pastor Yinka Yusuf, who is the founder and president pastor of Love for All Nation Ministry, headquartered in Lagos, Nigeria, did not seem to hide his support for the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Mr. Peter Gregory Obi, ahead of the 2023 presidential election, as he had taken to social media, disclosing that he would be mobilizing 1 million voters for the candidacy of Mr. Peter Obi. This is interesting. Pastor Yinka Yusuf made it known that he is one of Peter Obi's structures whenever people say Obi has no political structure. In a post on social media, Yinka Yusuf recounted how he met the former governor of Anambra State, Peter Obi, at the airport many years ago when he was traveling as one of the most popular evangelists in Africa and was embarrassed because Obi was pushing his luggage by himself. The clergy noted that he had to collect his luggage from his protocol and carry them by himself. He understood from the experience that leadership is by example and humility is one of the greatest signs of a great leader. He went further to say, if we are going to get a good leader and president in Nigeria, we must look out for a humble man like Peter Obi. We are taking back our country from the hands of wicked politicians, Yinka Yusuf stated. The Lagos clergy also added that he would hold a 1 million conscience rally for Mr. Peter Obi. It's really interesting. Now, I'm going to read exactly the content of his write-up and just allow you to make your contribution. Now, on his social media page, he said, I will mobilize 1 million voters for Peter Obi in Lagos. When people say Peter Obi has no structure, I tell them I am one of his structure. Several years ago, as one of the popular evangelists in Africa, I move around at airports with a lot of people as my entourage. One day, I was traveling back to Lagos from Abuja. They had just dropped me at the airport and I was going to board my flight. As I walked through the tarmac with one of the FAN, that is Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria protocol staff, pulling my hand luggage behind me I turned, and behold, I saw someone that looked like Governor Peter Obi coming behind and pushing his hand luggage himself. I turned to the protocol guy and I said, "That guy looks like Governor Peter Obi." He answered and said, "Yes, yes, na him. He no dey allow anybody help am with him bag." I felt so embarrassed for myself. I quickly collected my back, gave the protocol guy, gave him some money, and pulled my bag myself to the plane. Peter Obi did not open the Bible or quote any verse in the Bible, but he preached to me the greatest message I have ever heard on humility. When I got back home, I told my wife what happened to me, how someone was helping me with my hand luggage while the governor was pulling his back himself. Now I understand that leadership is by example and humility is one of the greatest signs of a great leader. For over 30 years now, I swept the church, washed and ironed my clothes, joined the ushers in cleaning and arranging of chairs in the church, and yet nothing has reduced in my life. A man came to my house one day and met me sweeping the compound. Without greeting me, he asked if he could help him tell Pastor Yinka that he was around. I told him to please give me 5 minutes to finish what I was doing. He came back 2 minutes later and asked if I knew who he was. He said, "Pastor Yinka will be very angry with you if he knows you kept me waiting for this long." And not knowing he was talking to me. If we are going to get a good leader and president in Nigeria, we must look out for a humble man like Peter Obi. We are taking back our country from the hands of wicked politicians. Watch out for 1 million conscience rally, which is coming up at TBS Lagos. Interesting. Already promises are rolling in. I think Nigeria has come to, we've all come to a point where we can tell those who can lead us are right. There are a lot of people who are already pushing so hard and thinking it's going to be, the same old thing, status quo. Nigerian, we are corrupt. Can't raise a good leader. So it's for me to ensure I get adequate recognition from a corrupt leader who is going to be out there and who will win so that I can also get my part of the cake. But from what Pastor Yinka Yusuf is saying is that he is going to do his part to ensure that Peter Obi enter in as the governor or as the president of Nigeria come 2023. And also, his vice presidential aspirant has made a lot of promise already for jobless youths that they are going to be gainfully employed. Don't forget that this man is not just talking as one who, enjoy giving promises. We have already seen his track record being involved in a lot of businesses, entrepreneurial development. Number one, he has two universities already, one of the biggest hospital in Africa, and some other small business here and there. So already he is having a bigger plan for the youth. It's quite interesting to see that these people are already putting things in place to ensure that at the end of the day, Nigerians will smile from the start of their entry into office. And I think that this is the right person that Nigerians must vote. But however, I like to leave it there. Taking into consideration all of that you've heard, what do you think about the future of Labour Party and the possibilities surrounding presidential election come 2023? Do you think Peter Obi will win? Let's